In that segment tonight, in order to become president, you need 270 electoral votes. Right now, Fox News projects that Hillary Clinton has 273. Joining us from Cleveland, Kyle Kondik, who works for the University of Virginia Center for Politics. So you guys are also analyzing the Electoral College. Are you on the same track as Fox News is?
Yeah, we do think that Clinton's got a little bit over 270 in terms of pretty solid electoral votes, and then there's an additional group of about 70 electoral votes where Clinton is leading, but where Trump is very competitive. The state of Ohio, where I am right now, is very competitive, but I think Clinton has a small lead. Florida, Iowa, North Carolina, which Mitt Romney won. So I think in order to win, Trump needs to put away states like Ohio, Florida, and Iowa, and then start eating into the traditional Democratic states, maybe a Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or one of them. But so far,
yeah, he seems to be close in Wisconsin. I think it's 5.
Sure.
He's going to New Hampshire later this week. That's only 3, but you know, 3 could tell the tale. I see it this way, that the first debate is really this year going to change pretty much all the prevailing wisdom there is in place before it. Am I wrong?
Well, so I do think that the electorate is pretty stable, and although we do see a lot of fluctuations in the polls, but sometimes it's just a function of that, you know, Trump has a good week, so Republicans get excited, Clinton has a good week, so Democrats get excited. You know, I think where we are right now is sort of the race is kind of where it was right before the conventions. You know, Clinton has this sort of small lead, but it's a lead sort of akin to what Obama had in 2012, and that's enough, but it's also maybe a little too close for comfort.
Okay, but let me put this forth, because I don't believe the model of past elections holds this time. I don't believe it holds.
Well, there is some evidence for that. So just today we had a poll just came out from the Boston Globe showing Clinton only up 3 in Maine, which Obama won by 16. Another poll came out showing that Trump was only up 6 in Texas. Romney won Texas by 16. So there's some weird things going on out there.
And here's the reason. Hillary Clinton is a suspicious candidate. That's the best word. And I'm not saying this in any condemnation or any kind of ideological way. Many Americans are suspicious of her. Okay? So you didn't have that with Gore or Kerry or Obama. People didn't like them, they didn't like their policies or whatever, but there's a personal suspicion surrounding Hillary Clinton. Now, that is unique in my lifetime. Unique. Remember, Richard Nixon didn't have that until after he was in office. On the other side, Donald Trump is largely hated or loved, all right? But those who love him, they're coming out. And the Trump campaign believes they're going to pull people who've never been out before because he engenders that kind of emotion, either loathing or love. And the African-American vote, if it isn't mobilized at the same extent that Barack Obama saw, will bring Hillary Clinton down 2 or 3 percentage points. So this model this year is totally different than all the other years.
Well, I do agree that if the Democrats have a problem, I think it is an enthusiasm problem, particularly amongst the youngest voters, which is the most unreliable group of voters and also the most diverse. And you just think about, you know, a state like Ohio, you know, there are a lot of big universities in Ohio. Clinton is going to need optimal turnout in those places, and those are a lot of places where Bernie Sanders did really well in the primary. And we also see that particularly the youngest voters, sort of 18 to 24, a lot of them are saying that they're going to support Gary Johnson or going to support Jill Stein.
He'll pick off 10%, Johnson.
Sure.
But Hillary Clinton's got a very good get-out-the-vote organization in all of these states, whereas Trump is relying more on his personal charisma to carry the day.
Right.
So, you know, on Election Day, if Trump does well in debates, this is the big caveat. If she holds her own with Trump, he's not going to win.
I agree.
If he wins, if he defeats her in the debate on policy, can't call her crooked Hillary, can't make fun of her pantsuits, he can't, when she starts coughing, throw water on her. You know, that was not good. He can't do that.
Bill, and one other thing is that, so still a pretty big majority of the public doesn't think that Trump is qualified for the job.
He's going to have to prove that.
Yeah, and that's where the debates come in. And I think, you know, this speech he gave tonight, about his child care policy. I think that was sort of a step that his campaign was trying to take in
sure,
that
and he's
direction.
going to do another one later on this week
Right.
on his economic plan, and he's got people now saying, you know, but he's reading off the prompter. It's a whole different ballgame when you're talking than when you're reading. Mr. Condick, thanks very much. We appreciate it.